Hi, this is Mary, your holistic recovery coach. Today I want to talk about a saying in the recovery communities that feelings aren't facts. Okay, what do we need to know about that saying? What does it really mean? And how can we best interpret it for our own well-being? So feelings aren't facts. I remember the first time someone threw that at me. The first time I heard that, and I didn't like it. I almost kind of took offense to it. I felt like it was discounting feelings, and that's not really the point of this saying. But let's break it down a little bit. So feelings aren't facts. Okay, feelings and facts are two different things for sure, right? Feelings are by nature are tend to be more temporary, right? Feelings change, feelings can change, and they're also subjective, meaning they're based on the perspective of the person feeling them, right? Whereas facts tend to be a little more permanent, and by definition, and are objective, right? So they don't change. Facts don't change based on someone's perspective. Actual facts are just actual facts and can't be changed. So feelings aren't facts. Doesn't mean that they aren't real, right? So just the point that people say feelings aren't facts does not make the point that they aren't real. Okay, so feelings are real. They're a real thing. They're a real thing that we experience, and they actually have an energy to them. Emotions have energy. So I think the point of the saying, part of the point of the saying, is that we don't want to give them too much power over ourselves and over our decision making process. If we're trying to make a decision, and what's the next right thing to do, what's the next right action step in our lives, in our recovery. I think the idea is that we want to make it based on facts. At least be empowered by facts. Doesn't mean we can't honor our intuition is different than feelings, right? But we don't want to make decisions, purely based on emotion, especially if it's emotions and feelings that haven't been worked through. Okay, so that, I believe, is where is the essence of what that saying is getting to and is about, and aiming to just kind of empower us to take a more objective approach before acting on something, and not react based on feelings, which may or may not be an accurate representation of the situation at hand. Again, this is not about discounting feelings. Our feelings are not only real, they're also meaningful, and they're important. They can serve as important information cues, important kind of flags to us to pay attention and to notice how we are feeling, how we are responding to something, and why is that? Why are we having that response? And they're also an opportunity for us to learn how to experience emotions and move through emotions, as opposed to getting stuck in emotions, or numbing them, or suppressing them, or running from them, trying to escape from them, which is more of the MO of our active addiction, right? In active addiction, that's active alcoholics and addicts tend to do that, right? Try to change the way we feel temporarily through the use of substances, and that does not change the, if we get back to emotions being energy, being in the holistic field, I know a bit about that, and I can tell you that that's not just some kind of hokey, airy-fairy, hocus pocus kind of thing. It's real. So emotion, there's an energy to emotions, and an energy, meaning also when we experience emotions, if we don't process them through, it is actually an energy that can affect our physical health, and can get stuck in our body in a certain way, or inhibit the natural flow of information and energy in our body physically. So emotions have energy, and if we don't learn how to experience them and process them in a healthy manner, then what happens is, then we are giving our power away, and we are more likely to be sort of controlled or influenced by the lack of dealing with our feelings appropriately. So I actually, I'd like to say that feelings are overall a really good thing. They're a human response. We have them for a reason. So as usual, it's about awareness and knowing how to maneuver, through life and utilize the tools that we have and our natural human abilities to process these things, and again, in a healthy manner. And so, I pulled up a quote before from a professional in the field that's well respected. Here's Tion Dayton, I believe it's in her book Trauma and Addiction, that she comments on this actual saying, this saying from the rooms of addiction of 12-step programs, that feelings aren't facts. And she says about that, she goes on to say, trauma freezes feelings states so that we experience them as facts, meaning we experience feelings as facts when there's trauma involved, as if they only have one interpretation, as if the feelings only have one interpretation. We let them run us. We let them define who we are and how we relate to our lives. Okay, so, what Tion's saying there is speaking to what I'm talking about, like the energy of feelings, and that that when, she's speaking specifically in terms of trauma, and we all experience trauma, some just on a smaller level, kind of lowercase t trauma, and some more capital T trauma, like major life events, major things. But everyone has had some form of trauma where, our body goes into a fight and flight situation. And, unless we resolve that, our response to the trauma, if it gets stuck, that's what she's talking about, that these feeling states kind of, this emotional energy kind of gets stuck in our system and frozen in that state. And then we're interpreting how we feel as facts because of the trauma response. And, trauma is, like I said, pretty much everyone has experienced some type of trauma, but it's really key in addiction recovery because, and just in wellness in general, for us to have ways to resolve any of those residual effects of trauma, and to learn, and access kind of tools to be more resilient and be able to respond to life and the emotional kind of roller coaster that can ensue with the different types of things that can happen with us, different scenarios and situations in life that we encounter, so that we don't continue to experience that trauma state where those feelings get kind of frozen, where we experience them as trauma, and then we continue to be affected negatively by that trauma reaction. So going back to feelings aren't facts. Feelings aren't facts, but they're real, and we need to process them in a healthy manner, and really learning how to process our emotions, and learn how to respond in a healthy manner to the emotions that get kicked up as sober and recovering individuals is key. I mean, it might be the most crucial part of our recovery, right? When you think about it, usually when people pick up, it's in response to some kind of feeling that they're trying to avoid or escape, right? That they're trying to change. And the true power for us really kind of lies in the fact that there are ways that we can navigate life and our emotional life in a healthy manner, and process these things as they come up, and ongoing, kind of maintain that emotional well-being and balance, so that we aren't triggered, and and it serves as like a relapse prevention strategy, dealing with our emotions in a healthy state and in a healthy manner. There are many tools, not only to address old trauma, which ideally work with some type of certified or licensed individual professional that can help that's trained in trauma, but there are also tools that you can utilize, holistic tools that they utilize, and there's also ones that you can utilize on your own. I'm pretty sure I've done other videos on trauma, related to trauma, and the energy behind that, and how that affects us, and some of the holistic tools that are out there, and strategies and therapies that are out there for trauma. So I will, in a different video series, I think, so I will find that and link to that in the description below this video. So please, take a moment at the end of this video and click to expand the description below the video, where I always put other information, resources, and links and whatnot. Any resources that I've mentioned in this video, like I will find Tion Dayton's book that I referenced, put that in there as well. But I've also definitely done videos where we talk about emotional freedom technique, which is a mind-body tool and technique that I've used that is one of the best tools for helping to manage and process emotions in a healthy manner, and also to help dealing with resolving some of the effects of trauma as well. So again, it's a tool you can use on your own, but it's most effective when you work with a more advanced practitioner. And you can also find people who have been trained in it specifically, like I've gone through training in it for trauma. So there's definitely some all different types of modalities and different holistic tools that you can choose if they resonate with you on your path to recovery. But the main idea is to, I think, really kind of clear up any of the emotional energy that's stuck, that's been stuck. When we get into recovery, we have the opportunity, as our process allows, for us to safely navigate those experiences and those feelings that have gotten stuck in a healthy manner, so that we can kind of clean and clear out our energy like that, clean and clear out our past, clean and clear out kind of the emotional baggage and debris, if you will, energetically, from our system and from our life, so that we can have a clear path going forward, and also embrace new tools and strategies to be more resilient and to be able to navigate the emotional terrain as we go forward in a much better and more effective way, more to really enjoy life more fully, and discover all the different gifts that we have, and not be held back by some of the old emotional baggage that can trap us and can keep us stuck. So feelings are not facts. We do have a process in 12-step programs, and like I've mentioned, there are many other programs out there and different options for recovery. But that type of a process, like the process of the 12 steps that we've talked about before, that exists for self-awareness and to help us kind of sort out, facts from feelings. Part of the written, and step process involves helping us see, and separate it out, kind of fact from fiction, fears and limiting beliefs from reality, and depending on how you engage the process. But from a holistic perspective, that's the way I do it. That's the way I help people do it. So I'll also put my contact info in the video in the description below. And in case you want to reach out, I do work with people one-on-one as well. And if you have any questions, comments, or ideas to share, please use the comment section below. And I appreciate if you just give a quick like to the video if you found it helpful, and share it with anyone that you think might be of help, or want to participate in this discussion about feelings aren't facts. What does that mean? And what does that mean for you in your own recovery, or just in your own life? Because it certainly can apply to anyone, right? It's not just for people in recovery from addiction. So thank you for subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. And I look forward to our next topics. Thanks, and have a great 24 hours ahead.